Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darren and I'm making this video more like an explanation video, guide kind of video for everybody who feels like you're just not dealing enough damage in Battlegrounds right now when playing your rogue. And basically I want to tell you tips of how you can, improve that in BGs just so you can actually enjoy Battlegrounds, and reasons why I guess you're not dealing as much damage as you would want to. Right now it's Season 3 and new gear set came out, and rogues have always been a class that scales well with gear. That means at the very beginning of the season we might not perform that well, and if anybody remembers Pandaria, I don't think a single rogue spec was viable. Maybe Assassination was, but I mean, we had to take premeditation as a talent, so it was ridiculous. On top of it, our gear just didn't allow us to deal damage. But by the end of Season 15 of Pandaria, I could play Combat Rogue comfortably and get 2k playing Combat Rogue. So it was pretty cool, it's pretty awesome, and it really did show me that the rogues really do scale with gear. And that goes for all three specs. The problem right now with Season 3 is healers are just healing for a little bit too much. I mean, they're supposed to make it viable, so then healers don't have the hardest time with it. Disc Priests are currently one of the best healers right now just because they scale so well with gear and the new season coming out. Resto Druids is still doing solid, H-Powers is still good. I think Mistweaver Monks are the only ones that are kind of like at the lower of the bracket, but remember them at the beginning of the season? Like, they were the best healer, like a Death Knight Mistweaver, you couldn't beat it in twos. So Rogue is a class that benefits highly on gear, and with the Season 3 gear coming out, Rogue's classes, even though not on patch notes, they scale a bit differently because there's availability to move up, to move higher in terms of damage, and with higher item level. So right now, playing Combat Rogue, I feel like I'm not doing that much damage. It still is fun, especially if I'm streaming, talking to the chat. But like, let's say I'm building up all that inside, I'm going in for that internal bleeding and everything, I'm lining up all the damage, and in the end, no matter how much damage I put into a target, a healer can run by in a BG, in full greens, playing Disc Priest, he flash heals the guy I'm trying to kill, 2 flash heals, and then goes in his merry way. Now, all the bursts that I've done, it literally has been counteracted because the guy I've been killing is now topped off because 2 flash heals topped him off. It's just like that kind of insanity is happening, but it's okay. That's just what happens with the seasons. As subtlety, it's just, I think it's a big over a nightmare, because as subtlety you have to have the whole lineup. You have to have the setup. You have to have a stun. Find weakness has to be available onto the target. You have to have bleeds for saying veins. You have to have the energy, shadow dance available, maybe even trinket if you can maybe catch a re-stealth. Like, there's so much more of a setup for subtlety than there is for combat, let alone assassination. So as subtlety, it's kind of a nightmare, and if you have like any MS lag, you basically can't play because you can't even get damage in. I mean, yeah, you can bleed targets up, but you're not really doing what you're supposed to, which is bursting people down. So Combat Rogue doesn't really work all that well in BGs, and literally it's not that fun. I enjoy arenas 100%. I'm having fun with arenas, but like in Battlegrounds it's just like so weird. So the best idea I've got is to play Assassination. Honestly, if you look at Assassination, it probably is the least needy in terms of scaling with gear currently for rogues, and it has a pretty easy lineup. You want to deal damage and have solid sustained damage, put Rupture on everybody, which is pretty simple and pretty easy to do. You have your on-demand burst, which you can line up whenever, so the setup is again minor. As a Combat Rogue, you have to stack up Insight. As a Subtlety Rogue, you have to make sure you have stuns and bleeds and everything available. But as Assassination Rogue, you have to pop Vendetta and have 5 comm points, stun your target, mark for that DFA. That's it. That's the max potential burst you can have. Maybe Vanish and Venom. There's a lot more flexibility with it, and it's really hard to counter it in just normal Battlegrounds. So like when you're farming for honor, trying to get some conquests here and there, maybe seeing if you can gear out your rogue, I feel like the best option right now is to play Assassination. I mean, in this BG alone, there was even at one point, which I'll cut to this point right here, where there's just 2 healers on the enemy team, there's like 2 healers on our team, and there's just a skirmish in the middle, and no one can die. Nobody is dying whatsoever, and it's a little silly. This is where we should be able to at least maybe kill somebody in a single smoke bomb, maybe just have raw damage to kill off. I mean, not everybody in this BG is geared 100%, but the fact that they have healers, and it's just like, that's it. They have heals. They're not gonna die. In arenas, it's a bit different situation because you can line up CC back to back onto a single healer, maybe like in 3v3, onto a single healer with 2 different DPS available. Then it's a bit of a different situation. And I'm definitely enjoying arenas 100% on my rogue. I'm having a blast. But Battlegrounds currently, I feel like it's just healers, and just 2 healers on a single target. I won't be able to kill that guy ever. I just can't. And especially with everybody else not doing enough damage, I can't die either if I have a single healer on me. So it's this silliness of WoD, but that's just WoD, I guess. So I guess what I'm trying to say in the end is, you should play Assassination. I feel like Assassination is going to be a better option for a lot of people, because it just will deal raw damage. It's just something to try, especially if you're gearing or trying to get your conquest points. Like, I'm probably even going to end up playing a bit more Assassination just because I find it a bit more viable than Combat Rogue in terms of Battlegrounds just currently. Well, like, yes, I can play Combat Rogue, but it's just like, in terms of maximizing my damage and being actually effective in terms of damage and CC, I find Assassination a better option, simply because it doesn't seem like it scales as strictly from gear as Combat Rogue or Subtlety. And I mean, as soon as I get my weapons next week for Combat Rogue, I'll probably get weapons for both for Combat Rogue and probably for Subtlety on my other Rogue, just for fun of it, just to be able to test it. But I'm pretty sure, like, at the end of the season, everything will balance out after everybody has their full piece of gear. And you still can play Combat Rogue, Subtlety, Assassination, BGs, even arenas, everything is all good there. It's just I feel like Assassination has a lot of raw damage that doesn't rely on gear to 100% full extent of it. So I don't know, that's my thoughts. You guys should probably play Assassination and give it a try. If you've already been playing Assassination, good for you. That's really it. That's just my 2 thoughts, my 2 cents about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Dalron. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.